Hello and welcome to our sustainable journey. I'm Steve, and today we're going to check in on the worms with the t-shirt and the towel, see how they're doing, and then something really cool with the CFTs. So stick around. We'll play around in those, and I want to show you a cross section of the CFT because I think that's kind of neat. So. All right, let's take a look in the first bin and see. That's the one that had the towel. So take a look, see what they've done. Here it is. Oh, they have infiltrated it on both sides. So they've made it into their own little condo. Oh. That is some progress. All right. Sorry, dropping the camera here. All right. All right. That is a giant hole in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. But this is a pretty thick hand towel. And it's missing the big part in the middle. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that. It shows up. They ate it. I'm assuming I'm not going to find any of it in here. Nope. Now that is awesome. So the worms, yeah. There's no other pieces of it in this bin, but there are plenty of baby worms. So they turned it into their little hotel, and they ate out the center of it. That's pretty awesome. Now I figure besides, this is the part of the towel or whatever with the fold, so that's going to take them a bit, but cotton. So what's for dinner? Oh, and there's a cocoon. I don't know if you can see that right there. I'm trying to see if I see any others. On the towel itself, I don't know, but there's plenty of life, plenty of worms. You can see they've kind of entangled themselves into it here. That is pretty awesome. They've absolutely taken over this bin. So I'm gonna bury it, and we'll check it again in a week or so and see if they've finished it off. That's pretty cool. All right, let's check the other bins with the t-shirt and the little bits of raggedy t-shirt. Okay, this is the one that had the t-shirt. So, this bin looks moist. It is very wet. But I do tend to run my bins a bit wet. Well, that's a piece. I don't know. Are there other pieces? No. Oh, that's dry over there. That's interesting. It's wet on one side and dry on the other. Maybe this is the pieces of t-shirt. Well, let me show you that. All right, you know what I'm going to do? Since it is so visually hard to see, with a backdrop of the black bins and the castings, there you go. That, just put in a white paper towel. That's what's left. So you can see they ate all around the edges. think I saw another piece in here. Let me see. Yeah, here's another piece. So let's pull this one out. Spread it out. So you can see the worms are all over it. I know I saw some on this one. Yeah, see? One right there. They're taking over, but that's what a lot of it looks like. Let me see. I will dig. I don't see any more in here. Oh, is that a little piece? Or is that newspaper? That's newspaper. That doesn't count. Oh my goodness, we found them all. Look at them all. Oh, and there it is. Here's a little piece. All right. That is a little piece of the shirt. Oh my goodness. Well, so this was, I think, where all the hemp was. You can see that all the hemp is gone. It just took them a little bit to get to it. It needed to be a little bit wetter than it was, I think. But they must have eaten the hemp and then got the munchies for shirt. I don't know. But there's no more. That's newspaper. There's no more shirt, but there is plenty of worms. Look at them all. That's great. That's very exciting. All right. Nope. Nope. Wow. So this is all I could find of that big piece of shirt that we put in here. So I am going to make a hole and put it back in. And you know what? I'll give him the paper towel. It's theirs now. All right, we'll bury it. We'll check back on it, see if there's anything left. So that was good. I was concerned after that die-off we had that we would not see them reproducing, but they're doing awesome. They're bouncing back. Cool. All right, let's check the last one. Okay, this one we're probably not going to find very much because this is the one that had the strips of shirt in it. So, again, pretty moist. Oh, that's actually really dry. Okay, but this is the part that's really moist. Oh my goodness, look at all the worms in this. This is that old root ball that they're chowing away on. There's not much left of the root ball, but there's a lot of worms in there. All right, oh, here's one. All right, let me get a paper towel. Where was it? Here. Okay. Oh my goodness, I can barely stretch that out. So all that's left, it looks like it's kind of nylon-y. I wonder, that's stretchy. It doesn't feel like cotton. So that is all that's left, is the, I don't know if you can see this, is just the inner part of the shirt. Let me see if I can find more. Oh my goodness, look at all these worms. Holy cow. This is fantastic. This is very exciting. Look at them all. They're doing fantastic. They're breeding like crazy. Alright. Look at them all. Look at all the babies. There's a cocoon right there. I'm trying to see if I see any others. I just see so many worms in here. Look at them all. Oh, this makes me happy. Oh, here's another piece right here. This. And it's just, all right. So I think they ate, I don't know if you can see this. This is a really dry hunk, but they ate everything but the stretchy part. I wish I still had the tag for it to see if it had some sort of non-cotton part. So it's reassuring that they ate everything, all the cotton, and just left out the other stuff. So we'll put it back, bury it, and see if they eventually eat that part. I'm assuming they're not going to, and we'll pull it out. This needs some water for sure. It's interesting how some bins in the exact same environment are drier than other bins. So this is why I tend to run my bins a little wet, because you get stuff like this. That's probably way too much water, but it's hard to pour. So I'm kind of push that around a little bit. Put the stuff into it. This side is wet. So where all the worms are living, that's the moist side. The other side is very dry. Unpredictable. So that's why I like to run them a little bit wetter than most, because things like that happen and you can't always control every variable in a bin. Even though it's right literally next to a bin that was totally wet looking, it's very dry looking. So we'll add a little bit more water, let it soak. It's got drain holes. This is double stacked. Oh, there's a spider in there. Cool. Killing off all the little pests. And so any excess water will drain out, so it's not a big deal. I'm not too concerned. That's why I don't mind running them wet, because I know that the worms will be fine. They're not going to drown or whatever. So cool. All right. So that was a fun experiment. Next time I'm going to try, and hopefully I have all the ingredients to make worm chow, so I can show you guys a recipe that I found that I like for making worm chow for your worms. And it's a dry worm chow instead of using the food scraps. We have hundreds of pounds of food scraps, so I usually go that route, or the manure, which I'll show you in a little bit. We have plenty from the cows. We don't give them the pigs. We'll give them the chicken poop as well. There's a lot of poop on the farm here. But a lot of it is food scraps. So food scraps and shredded cardboard and stuff. But there's still plenty of poop that we give them treats, so to speak. So I'll show you the worm chow recipe probably next time if I can get all the stuff for it and put it all together for you. But now I want to show you something cool with the CFTs. So come along. So we were sifting the other day and stuff got caught in the bottom pipes of one of the CFTs. And so I took the side off so that we could kind of scrape the bottom and make sure that there's nothing stuck in the pipes, because things like tops of pumpkins, elastic bands. So there was a pair of old underwear that I put in there as a joke, and all that was left was the elastic band, which is pretty hilarious. But that got stuck because it just stretched and then it just tied between the pipes. So I wanted to show you what that looked like, because it was the coolest thing, and I didn't have the camera with me at the time. So I figure I'll do it to the next CFT in line for sifting. and I'll show you what a cross section of a CFT looks like. So, I've taken all but 2 screws out. Alright, and it's resting on, the way I built these is it's resting on the 2x4, so it doesn't actually come off. It doesn't actually come apart as easily. So then you can kind of see, here, pull this off. Okay, big reveal. So you can see it's resting on the 2x4s the way I did this. Specifically so that I could do stuff like this if I wanted to. So we'll pull this down and you can see, oh, no, that's all right. So this is all the stuff. So this is the bottom 6 inches that we're going to be harvesting. And then you can see the top probably 6 inches is the stuff that is still being broken down. So we usually only harvest about to here each time. So there's still a base, and then they're still working on this stuff. So you can see the worms are scurrying back into their homes. But that's what it looks like. So you've got a good 6 to 8 inches easily of really, really, really good castings. And it stays together. So all the naysayers saying, oh, you can't build that with wood, it's gonna fall apart. Yeah, still, there's a little bit of water that got in here, but this is still dry. And it's been going strong for a year. So pretty cool what one of these looks like as the stuff is broken down. So then you can see where all the pipes are and where it all comes out the bottom. Yeah, so kind of a neat little thing that I wanted to show you guys, because we saw it the other day with that one, and I thought you guys would find that hopefully as interesting as I do. So spring is almost here, and we had a chance to clean out one of the pastures of all the poop from the cows. This pile is about 4 feet tall. It took probably 20 or 30 loads to get it all out of there and over here into our giant compost pile. So what we're probably going to end up doing is feeding this to the worms. So let it sit out here for a little bit. It'll probably collect more worms because they absolutely love this stuff. Cow manure and some hay is a great place for them to grow and thrive. So we'll let it sit out here for a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to be setting up a worm breeding area, and we'll start selling red wigglers and other worms, because I've just been unhappy with the options out there, and I've kind of voiced my opinion on that over the last year or two. I think we can do better and provide better service and better worms for the Midwest. So we have plenty of food for them now, so growing and breeding them will not be an issue. But yeah, this is our giant pile of poop. So this is probably as large as my backyard at my old house back when I lived in the suburbs. So it's a lot of poop. It'll make them happy for sure. For sure. All right. Can you tell what this was. That is the top elastic band on a pair of underwear. This is all that's left. It went through one of the CFTs. I don't even know when I put it in there. A while ago, probably a year ago, and I totally forgot about it, and it got wrapped around one of the pipes with all this little stretchy stuff the worms didn't like. But that's all that's left. Top band, and then the other bands, it was a pair of whitey tighties. So there you go. Old underwear in a CFT. The worms loved it. It's unworn, don't worry. Because that would be really gross. But it was the wrong style or whatever, so we decided, you know what? We couldn't bring it back because the package had been opened. So we wanted to see if the worms would eat it. So they ate underwear. Cool. All right, that'll be it for today. See y'all later. Take care.